I am here today with Stephanie Lewis of LiveWellFlow, and I am so excited to talk to her today about her organization and the way that she helps women to relax and take care of themselves and manage their stress in a holistic way. So, Stephanie, thank you so very, very much for being here today. It's wonderful to have you here.
Cassandra, I'm really pleased to be here. You're one of my favorite people in this space, so it's great to have this opportunity to chat with you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's always good to be able to have a little bit of a chat. So, the first thing I just want to start out by asking you is what is it that drew you into this world of self-care and stress management?
Probably the same reason that a lot of us have entered this space as coaches and instructors. It really started when I was working at a law firm. I'm a retired attorney. Things just kind of hit the wall. It wasn't really just the experience of, the hours at the firm and the stress at the firm. It's really accumulation over years of just pushing way too hard,
Yes.
too fast, and it just caught up with me. It started showing up in my health. So there was a point where my parents were staying with me. They were having a house built. I remember my father saying to me, "Girl, you got to do something."
Oh, yes.
They could see the impact on
Mhm.
me. I stepped back and I left the firm and I actually went traveling. And, I just sort of,
Ooh.
okay, I got to sort of rethink what it is I'm going to do with myself and my mindset. I came back, I had some consulting work just fall into my lap. And then I went back into the law, but in a different setting. I
Okay.
realized I still wanted to be a lawyer. I wasn't really running away from the law. And quite frankly, if I had the skills that I have now through mindfulness practice, I'm not sure I ever would have left the law firm. I actually, I
Oh.
like the place, It
Yeah.
was just that sort of came to a place where I was either burned out or headed toward burnout, and I had to make a change. So that led to me going down this journey, really getting into mindful movement and mindful meditation and then in coaching, share what I've learned and help people on similar journey.
I can absolutely relate because I think for a lot of women,
Yes.
sooner or later, all that pushing and pushing and pushing through comes to a head. And lots of women, myself included, have experienced that where sooner or later your body's like, no, we cannot do this any longer. And you end up having some kind of health crisis or your health suffers or deteriorates in some sort of way. So, speaking about Live Well Flow, tell us a little bit about the organization and the work that you're doing and the work that you're most passionate about right now.
In 2017, I believe, after I got my certification in mindfulness instruction, Live Well Flow helps high responsibility professionals, people who have a lot of stress and strain, who are carrying a lot, to skillfully manage stress. We have all these expectations of ourselves and we buy into the expectations of others. We have a lot of internal pressure. My mission really is to help people more skillfully deal with the stress and the expectations and the pressure. And I principally do that through mindfulness and traditional coaching. The goal is for people to have a more sustainable life, more sustainable career, more sustainable home life, and find the skills and the tools that resonate with them to help them stay grounded, especially during really demanding times in life.
I love it. And that's something that everyone that I know of can use more of in their everyday life. Absolutely. As a entrepreneur, I know that you're retired as a lawyer, but you're still an entrepreneur. I'm sure that you're busy. So for you, what does self-care actually look like in your real everyday life?
The practice that helps the most really is qigong, the moving meditation. So I do sitting meditation, I do moving meditation, I do breath work. I started gardening. I read, I love working with, plants and that type of thing outdoors. If I need a shift, it's either some qigong, mindful movement, or a quick breathing practice. Even if I do just a few minutes, I feel more energetic, I feel calmer, I'm out of my head, right?
Yep.
And more in my body.
You're just saying like all of my things. I love those things. And it's great. And I think that,
And I
many.
don't want to forget reading.
Oh, yes, yes, that is absolutely. I think a lot of
Yes.
people enjoy, like, there's something, at least for me, about holding a book in your hand and reading that helps transport you even a little bit more than reading something on your tablet. But that just might be a me thing. Now, many women.
Yeah. I can't do the audios. I
Oh,
can't do the audiobooks.
yeah, I can relate. I don't really like audiobooks as much. I like to actually read. Regular reading. Now, many women
Hmm.
struggle with self-care. When women struggle with self-care, what do you think is usually happening kind of beneath the surface that causes them to struggle so much with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of things. One is they're so busy caring for others, right?
Mhm.
And that's the kind of person many of us have been conditioned to be, feeling like if we're only caring for ourselves, that's selfish. And of course it's not, right? If you
Right.
look at the definition of selfish, it's like, okay, that doesn't really fall within the definition of selfish. So I think part of it is conditioning.
Hmm.
Part of it maybe is, for some, not all, a feeling that we're not worthy of
Hmm.
caring for ourselves. And then also, I think that there's too much going on,
Oh, yes.
right? Many of us are conditioned to be there for others more than for ourselves. That's a societal conditioning, I think, and we've bought into it, right?
Yes,
And I
absolutely.
mean, but not only that, but it is an important role. Women play an absolutely critical role in society, and our empathy and our level of responsibility for the well-being of others is irreplaceable, I think.
Yes.
It's not that, it's understanding that, also we are worthy of caring for ourselves and expecting others to care about us and for us as well.
See,
So
I
that
love that right there. So I'm going to reiterate it. We are worthy of
we are
caring for ourselves. See, I knew you were going to
right.
have some
And,
knowledge bombs to drop.
and we are worthy of expecting others to care about and for us.
Yes, absolutely. Love it. Love it. So then, related to that, what is one mindset shift that you think can help women prioritize self-care without guilt
Yeah,
or without
yeah.
so much guilt?
Well, I think one of the most important things to keep in mind is that caring for ourselves is not just about us,
Okay.
right? It is about our loved ones. It's about being able to, be there for ourselves and others for the long haul.
Thank you. Caring for ourselves is not just about us. I love it. See, that's two in a row, right there, back to back.
The other thing is there's so much on our plate and so much is being thrown at us, not just in terms of the to-do list, the things that we're expected to do, the things that we want to do, but there are all these mixed messages or all of these options about what we can or should do. And that creates some decision fatigue as well, I
Yes.
think.
You are absolutely right. Yeah, and it makes it harder to kind of prioritize what
Yeah.
those things are that you need to do, what can be pushed off either to another time or someone else can do, and what it is that you want to do. So yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can make it
Perfectly
difficult.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at times, absolutely. So then I want you to tell us a little bit about the resource that you've contributed to the Self-Care to Wellness bundle. Like, what is it? Who's it for? What problem does it help solve?
So I'm really excited about it. It is going to be a set of practices that people can do in the midst of the day. It could be the start of the day, right, to get you off to on a good foot, or in the midst of the day. So there'll be three practices to help ease the stress that comes up in the midst of the day. A micro practice, there'll be a brief qigong practice, and a brief meditation breathwork practice.
I love it. I can't wait to see them. And then after someone uses your resource, what do you hope feels different for them?
I want them to feel more grounded. That is my hope, that they are in a place where they feel like they've had a reset, or they're starting the day in a good spot, a place where if they have a decision they're about to make, they feel greater clarity. If they have been triggered, that they feel like they are in a place where they can respond rather than react. Whatever it is, that moment is where they're basically interrupting the stress pattern.
Excellent. I love it. Is there anything else within Live Well Flow that you're currently building or excited about? And also, how can people stay connected to you?
One thing I'm really excited about that I just published is a journal, Sanctuary in Small Moments. So
Oh,
30 prompts and some words of wisdom and space for you to reflect and rest, like a little mini retreat for yourself. That I'm very excited about. This is my first publication, non-policy legal related publication. So
oh, so then that is something that we absolutely positively have to celebrate. We love things like that around here.
yeah.
Congratulations. It's
Um,
amazing.
Yeah, and then I am working on creating a practical mindfulness skills series that'll be coming out over the next couple of months. I'm gonna have the details ready next week. It'll be a four-part series. We'll be talking about eating on all autopilot and issues of, how do we lighten the expectations and pressures on us, as we talked about before, interrupting the automatic stress patterns and breaking that habit of beating yourself up, right?
Yes. Oh,
Right?
I'm all
Yeah.
for that.
And the other thing I'm really excited about is this library of practices that I'm building called Your Mindfulness Space to help support people as they build and develop their practice. And it has meditations and qigong practices and coaching audio series and guest experts, including yours truly, Cassandra,
Woohoo.
has contributed to the library. And so that's something that I am growing and developing, and I'm pretty excited about that too.
Excellent. And I absolutely will have a link to the library somewhere around this video.
And getting in touch with me, you visit livewellflow.com. My website, the journal is on books.by, by, slash Stephanie dash Lewis.
Okay, excellent. And
Um,
I will link to
yeah.
all of that somewhere below this video.
Okay.
The last question that I have for you, which is your favorite self-care or stress management related quote?
It's not really a quote, it's a concept.
Okay, I love it.
The Qigong world, which is that don't give something more energy than is required. And that plays out in a number of different ways.
Mm,
Part of it is, how you're driving and your hand is just tightly gripped on the steering
yes.
wheel, and it's like, why are my hands tightly gripped on it? That's, we're stressed about something, but it also could be our thought process and, our tendency towards perfectionism and sort of overdoing the job, so to speak. And so just sort of giving your spouse some space and some breathing room and calibrating the level of energy that you put into something based on what is actually needed.
I love that. Don't give anything more energy than it deserves. And that's something that can be used in so many different aspects of
That's
life,
right.
from
That's
your work
right.
life to your personal life.
To
So,
your personal life. Yep. That's
yeah.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Stephanie, again, thank you so very, very much for being a sponsor of the Self-Care to Wellness Bundle. Thank you for taking this time to have this conversation with me. We're very excited about the work that you do and can't wait to see what you come up with next. And congratulations on your new publication. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So happy to have this opportunity.